Hello, let's continue our Sudoku adventure with Minimal Compact Adventure by Emphyrio. So we have normal Sudoku rules. In every row, every column, and every 2x3 box, we are placing the digits 1 to 6 exactly once each. We also have minimum cells in the grid. That's these gray cells with less than signs pointing in. The less than signs tell you what it does. It is less than all of the digits that surround it, just the orthogonal ones, the ones that share a border, where these less than signs are. So if we had, say, I don't know, 6, 5, 3, 4 here, then this would have to be less than all of them. So it could be a 1 or a 2, but it couldn't be any higher than that. All right, and then we also have killer cages in the grid. Really all you need to know is the 2 cells that are surrounded by dotted lines sum to the value in the top left. So these 2 sum to 6, these 2 sum to 7, etc. That's just how they're used in this puzzle. And all right, those are the rules. There's a link in the description if you want to try the puzzle yourself, and I'm going to get started right now. Okay, so how do we want to get started? 3 is 1, 2. We know that. The only way to add to 3. 6 has 2 ways to add to it, 1, 5, and 2, 4. Now, this cell can't be a 1, because if this was a 1, this would have to be less than 1. We don't have a number less than 1. So that's not a 1, which means that's not a 5. 2 would force a 1 here, which is okay. Okay, so this can't be a 1 either, but you can do 1, 6, 2, 5, or 3, 4. And all of those combinations, okay, this one's more interesting because this can't be 1, 6 at all. Because if we put a 1 in either of these spots, then it's going to force a 0 into one of these minimas. So this is only 2, 5, 3, 4. So one of these is going to be next to a 2 or a 3, which forces a 1 or a 2 into them. We don't know which one. We know, okay, so let's ask about 6 in this row then. So we obviously can never put a 6 in a minimum. And the 6 can't go in the 7 cage. So 6 is in one of these two. I'm not sure exactly how to mark that, but maybe that's helpful. Does it have to do with 6s or 1s? Okay, so 1s can't go around. There we go. 1s can't go around a minimum. So 1 can't go in any of these cells. And it also can't go in these cells because of the 1, 2 pair. So one of these is a 1. Now is 2 the same? Yeah, if you think about it, this is a little bit tough to spot, but if we go through one example, the other is exactly symmetrically the same. One of these two is going to be a 1. We know that because these can't be 1s and these can't be 1s. So we're going to need a 1 in this row. So one of these is 1. In fact, you could just have to ask about this row. You don't even need to use the 1, 2 pair. In this row, none of these can be a 1. So the 1's in one of these two. Let's pick one because it's going to be a symmetric logic. If this is a 1, that forces this to be a 2 and this to be a 1. And now what we want to ask is, where does the 2 go in this row? Well, the 2 can't go in either of these. First of all, it can't share the box with these 2's, and it can't go in either of these because that would force a 1 into here, and there's already a 1 in the row. So it forces the 2 here. So basically what we've proven is, it works exactly the same this way. If this is a 1, that's a 2, that's a 1. Now 2 can't go in any of these cells. This is the 2. So we don't know which way they go, but what we do know is that this is a 1, 2 pair. There we go. Now that this is a 1, 2 pair, this cannot be a 2 because it would put a 1 here. If this is a 2, this is a 1, and that breaks this cell. So this is not a 2, and this is not a 4. Okay, so now we have this 1, 2 pair. We already kind of had a 1, 2 pair between these. I could have seen it that way. But now we've located where exactly that 1, 2 pair is. So this is at least 3. If this is at least 3, in fact, it's 3 or 4 only. If it was 5, there'd be nothing to put here. So it's 3 or 4 only. And this has to be bigger than 3 or 4. So it's not a 2 or a 3, which means this is not a 4 or a 5. Nice. This is also bigger than 3. Sorry, it's bigger than 2, so it's at least 3. So I'm going to put 3, 4, 5. Wait, hold on. Hold on, no. This is smaller than 2. Sorry, I read that backwards. This is smaller than 2, 3. So it has to be 1 or 2 only, and that does make a 1, 2 pair. Now that there can't be a 1 or a 2 in the 7 cage, this has to be a 3-4 pair only. And that finishes the row with a 5-6 pair here. Well, kind of finishes the row. And I said row, and I meant column. Saying all good sorts of good things here. We also know there's a 6 in one of these. That's technically an X-wing. I don't know if we need to use that, but I noticed it. Sixes are interesting because we've got them like in this formation, basically. Because of the columns here, they're here. Column here, they're here. And then this row, they're here. I don't quite know how to resolve that, though. I am wondering about coloring the 1-2s, if that's may be necessary. Let's see. Could this actually be a 4? Because that forces a lot. Hit forces a lot. If this was a 4, these are both 5s. That puts a 1 here and a 2 here. I wonder if there's a problem with like a 1 here and 2 here based on our coloring of 1-2s. It actually is a problem. I don't know if this is how we're supposed to see it, but I think I can make it clearer. So if I use, let's say, blue and orange for the 1-2 pairs, we're coloring them. Now, if you haven't seen coloring before, it's a very, very powerful tool if you use it correctly. So all we're saying here is we don't know which 1-2 this is, but we're going to call it blue. It's going to end up one of them, and it's the blue one. We just arbitrarily picked blue. And so now we're going to arbitrarily pick orange to contrast with blue. If this is the blue one, this is the orange one. You can think of them as flavors if you want. If blue ends up 1s, orange will be 2. If blue ends up 2s, orange will be 1. It's just a very simple way of denoting that symbolically. So we know that these two are the same digit, is what I was saying there. Now what happens is if this is a 4, I'm writing this out for you. I saw this all in my head, but I'm writing this out for you. These are both forced to be 5s. Now 5 plus 1 is 6, and that makes blue a 2. But 5 plus 2 is 7, and that makes blue a 1. Blue cannot be simultaneously 1 and 2. Right? So that's not possible. This has to be a 3. And that does resolve this as 2 plus 5. And that makes our 1s a 1, and it makes our orange a 2. I could have colored these as well, but I didn't need it to demonstrate what I wanted to demonstrate. But this does finish all of this stuff. Amazingly. That was cool. This is 5-6 as well, and we know the order. That does resolve our 6s we had here. That resolves the 6s for this row as well. So that's a 4. I need a 2 in this box, and I need a 1 in this box. And then this box needs a 3 and a 4, which is not resolved. Not yet, anyway. Okay, let's just look at what every box needs. This box needs a 3. It needs a 4, so that goes here. It needs a 3 and a 6. We also know the order of those. This box needs a 3, a 4. Okay, the 4 goes here. That makes the 3 go here, and we need a 5. This box needs a 1. That goes up here. The 1 and the 2 go here, and we know the order because of this too. And then we need 5 and 6. We don't know the order yet. This pair, let's just do the pairs. This is 3 and 6. We know the order. That gives us the 5, 6. And then finally over here, we need 1 and 5. And there we go. Very cool. That was some interesting logic, Emphyrio. I am curious if you found a different way through this or if there was a different way intended. But I had a lot of fun with how the 4 here forced different numbers here. We basically figured out that these two had to be the same number. Maybe that's what we should have proven. I'm not sure. But it was interesting nonetheless. The interaction between these 5 cells. And maybe these 6 cells is very interesting, actually. So I really liked that idea. Thanks, Emphyrio. And of course, if you enjoyed this, then why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.